Senator Murray.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Mr. Secretary, you know how important the Interstate Bridge Replacement Project is across the Columbia River between Washington and Oregon. It's important for the entire West Coast, and it is really critical, as we have talked about many times, to keep this project moving and on track, and we know that delays mean higher costs. So I wanted to ask you, when you're in front of us today, will you commit to publishing the record of decision for the IBR project no later than July 1st?
Oh, I don't know that I got to take a look at that, but to the issue of the I-5, I have been wildly, aggressively involved in the process for the last year and a half. It's probably the project I know more about. Now, I think we have to work together. I think the initial estimate was $14 billion for that project. I think we have to work together to get to a number that's going to be
that is true, but today I just wanted to ask you about the record of decision, because delaying that is going to make it cost even more.
I'll look and see on the timeline. I don't know that I can commit to by July 1st. Let me look, and I can circle back with you on that timeline.
Thank you. I want to ask you about the bipartisan infrastructure law. As you know, it expires September 30th,
Yes.
and communities across our country are immediately going to lose access to about $37 billion in transportation funding, along with tens of billions in other critical funds in other agencies. I heard Senator Gillibrand mention these facts earlier, but the American Society of Civil Engineers gives our infrastructure a C grade, roads and aviation D+, transit gets a D. And these grades tell us, really, that we have a lot more work to do. And if we don't, ASCE estimates that American families will pay $700 more a year, 344,000 jobs lost, and our economy is going to take a hit as well. So we have to address this infrastructure cliff in our 27 funding bills, or our cities, our airports, our transit systems are not going to have the funding that they need for vital projects in actually every one of our states. Meanwhile, we have a budget from the president, and he is proposing $500 billion more for the war budget, but his budget proposal does virtually nothing to prevent a $37 billion cut to this transportation funding. So I'll just be blunt. Is it the position of this administration that we should stop fixing our roads and bridges to fund a war abroad?
So, Senator, I appreciate the question. So first, when you look at the C rating, and we should be A-rated in America, I agree with you. You and I are on the same page.
No, I'm asking you about
I'll answer that question. I'm talking about
but I have limited time. So
okay, so I have pulled out a lot of the green requirements that you all didn't put in the legislation, IIJA, and I pulled out a lot of the DEI from the last administration to make us build faster and build better.
I know what you've been doing, but
just, you know, the
budget proposes a flat funding for transportation. It proposes a huge funding for war. So to all of us looking like
Senator,
at this budget, it's fewer bridges and more bombs. And I just got to say that as the committee, we have to address this infrastructure cliff in our funding bills. We cannot let this funding expire and leave our communities dry.
I think it's important.
That's my point. I just wanted you to
take your point.
that.
Can we be on the same page? You all do the advanced appropriations, and you're melding together the budget with the advanced appropriations.
Correct, and that's what we've been doing for a number of years. And all I'm saying is that there's going to be a huge cliff, and instead of giving us a budget that helps us address that.
A routine Senate appropriations hearing quickly turned into one of the most heated exchanges of the day as Senator Patty Murray confronted Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy over infrastructure funding, rising transportation costs, gas prices, and questions surrounding his Great American Road Trip. The hearing began with concerns about the Interstate Bridge Replacement Project before shifting to the future of America's transportation funding. Murray warned of a looming funding cliff that could impact roads, bridges, airports, and transit systems across the country.
Over 39 million Americans are expected to hit the road for Memorial Day weekend. And you are encouraging Americans to spend the summer road tripping across the country. But let me just ask you, how much did you rack up on gas during your Great American Road Trip? I understand that was paid for by groups and sponsors.
This
Is that
was
correct?
a nonprofit funded the Great American Road Trip.
The nonprofit actually solicited funding from private organizations.
Yeah, I did not, right.
Okay, do you know how much gas?
No, I don't.
You don't?
But I know it's not as much as it was under Biden, which was $5 a gallon.
Holy cow. Okay,
It's only
so
$4.50
just
now.
listen.
Okay.
Americans don't have corporate sponsors to pay for their gas. And for families that are hitting the road this weekend, the national average gas price is now $4.50 per gallon. That is more than 50% higher than before Trump's war in Iran, when gas was less than $3 a gallon. And I just want to make the point that families are seeing this at the gas pump, but they're also seeing it costing more for airline trips. The cost of a domestic flight is up 31% over last year. And they, by the way, are stuck paying ridiculous junk fees. Why? Because you decided to rip up some basic protections that gave people automatic refunds and hotels when their flight was delayed or canceled. So here's the problem. Here's how Americans see this and who are talking to me. You've been recording a promo of yourself and not working to lower the cost.
Sure, Senator.
So this show is incredibly out of touch with where Americans are. And I echo Senator Gillibrand's concerns that it really raises some serious ethics concerns about who you answer to, because the people organizing your show solicited corporate sponsors and promised rewards at each level of funding.
Now, Senator, to be honest, that's not true.
I'm looking at your thing. What you
That's
get
not
for
mine.
being
There's a memo of understanding that says no one gets any benefit for anything they do to
I'll ask you a
participate.
question. Maybe you can answer it.
Sure.
If I'm an airline executive and I paid $1 million for this Great American Road Trip, what would I get out of that?
From me, nothing.
Well, look, as I said, the deck that is out there says that if you give $1 million, you get 6 VIP invitations to receptions, you get to go to roundtables, you get to networking events.
If someone from the healthcare industry gives you $2 million, what do they get for it? What do you give them?
I do not oversee I do not regulate.
You have jurisdiction.
I do not regulate.
You have jurisdiction.
I do not
$2 million
regulate
to put your face on TV, to buy steak dinners,
Mr. Secretary,
to go on vacations.
Listen to my point
That's what
here.
you do.
Mr.
Welcome to MAGA. Welcome to Drill Baby Drill.
Secretary,
are you going to drill? Do
please.
you want to support lower gas prices?
Madam
I welcome
Chair,
that. Let's drill.
Let's
refine. Let's pipe fuels across the country.
You obviously
have not been supportive of that.
book of every
You
one
haven't
of us, so
supported
that
that, Senator.
instead of answering our questions,
I'm
you could
answering
attack.
your question. You're asking about gas prices. You have done everything you
Madam Chair,
can to increase gas prices for Americans and make us buy EVs.
Mr. Secretary, this is my time.
Donald Trump is lowering the cost of energy.
You are wasting my
that.
time.
You're wasting my time.
Responding with a book of claims that you have come at us.
You did not.
Please, don't forget to like, comment and hit the subscribers button for more political updates.